You read the title. Let's get into it. You would have more aura if you logged off. So the first thing you need to ask yourself is, what's aura? That feeling when someone walks into a room and everyone notices them. People are magnetized to them. People want to know who they are. People do things for them. Doors open for them. People move out the way if they need to move out the way. There's a field of energy around them. It's called the auric field, and it's a thing. There's an energetic field around you. It can be very small, it can be hidden, it can be colored a type of way where no one really pays attention to it, or it can be massive, it can be bright, it can draw people to you, it can magnetize people to you. So there was a hypnotist I worked with in the past, phenomenal hypnotist. And he taught us a bit about aura and magnetism. But this guy wasn't the type of hypnotist where it's like, you are getting very sleepy. You can, on the count of 3, open your eyes. He wasn't that type of guy. He would just talk to you and he would say certain things. And his energy had a potency to it that when he would just say certain things, you just get influenced. You just get hit, and it just hit your subconscious and change your decisions. Now, obviously that power can be very dangerous, but he would utilize it for us to get money, for us to build our entrepreneur muscle, essentially. But one day, because one thing he would do is, you're far more influenceable when you're sleep deprived or when you're tired or you burn through a lot of energy. It's easier to influence you. It's easier to get things into your subconscious, easier to get things into your head. So we would work out and we would do things all day, like hard, strenuous tasks all day. And then in the nighttime, he would do his hypnosis thing. So one of the days where we're working out in a day in the hot sun, and I feel this energy cross the field, literally cross the field. This just radiation feeling is what I would call it, of kind of just light. It sounds woo-woo, but it's a real thing, and I know it's a real thing because not only did I turn my head to see what was going on, everyone turned their head. Everyone on the field turned their head. And that same hypnotist was walking out onto the field. And he just had this huge aura, this huge energy around him. You could almost see it. It was like a dome around him. That's aura. Okay? Totally aura. So one time when I met with this hypnotist, I shook his hand. I said, "Hey, there he is, the man himself." And he stopped and he grabbed my hand with both of his hands and he looked me in my eye and he said, "Look who's talking. Good to see you, Seth." And he let go. When he did that, there was so much intent and power and magnetism and aura in that one simple handshake and statement, crossed into my mind and made me think, yo, I am the man. What the hell? Yo, I'm fantastic. You know what I mean? That's aura. That's power. And if you stay chronically online, you will not develop this power. Aura is in relation to light. If you look at the periodic table, the AU code on the periodic table is for gold. AU, aura, gold, light, sun. So if you want to develop that power and have people pay attention when you walk in the room, have people instantaneously deem you as important, have people want to be in your presence, you can also use this to draw the right people to you and the right customers and the right clients in your business, draw them to you and make some money. but you're not going to do it if you're chronically online. And I'm going to tell you why. When we think of universal law, okay, I look at the universe like a pyramid. You have the spiritual plane, the mental plane, and the physical plane. The physical plane is dense. There's a lot of density, physical matter, the things that you can sense with your five senses, that you can touch and see and taste and smell and hear. These are dense things. The people here that stay entirely swung up in life and entirely emotional are also dense. Okay? Things hold them down. The great work of life is essentially canceling out the polarized states of your mind that keep you dense and becoming more enlightened. Okay? Having more light in the mind, having more aura. In order to do this, you need to do the opposite of what the masses do. If everyone is unfit and unhealthy, then you need to become fit and healthy. You will instantaneously stand out because you are now different than the masses. If everyone is broke and manages their finances terribly, you need to get rich and manage your finances well. If everyone is addicted to their phone, then you need to not be addicted to your phone. As a matter of fact, you need to produce more than you consume. So I have a friend who runs a YouTube channel in the dating niche, and he has probably 70 or 80,000 subscribers right now. He's pulled in millions of views. He makes good money with his clients. And he was lucky enough to go meet some big time YouTubers, some people who had great followings, hundreds of thousands, millions, to get some game and information and coaching on YouTube. And there's something he said that stood out to me incredibly. So they were talking about YouTube and they were like, oh, what's your click-through rate and what's your retention and blah, 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 blah. And they're all around this table having dinner. And they're asking these questions. What are your stats? Blah, blah, blah. And I go, well, does anyone have the YouTube app on their phone? None of them had the YouTube app on their phone. Do you understand this? These are people who are big creators, who have pulled in millions of views, who know about YouTube, and they don't have the YouTube app on their phone or the YouTube Studio app on their phone. That should tell you something. They are producing more than they're consuming. They look at social media or they look at YouTube as a means to put a message into the world, and then they extract themselves to their actual life. So me, what I'll do, if I catch myself scrolling through the endless toilet paper scroll of social media, I will clock how much time I've been doing it and make content to put into the world for the same amount of time I was doom scrolling. Because I need to put the universe into balance. In my mind, it is no longer in balance. I have consumed more than I have produced. The world is out of whack now. Everything is no longer in homeostasis, and the universe must be in homeostasis. My life must be in homeostasis. Otherwise, things are going to be problematic. So I'll go make something. And by doing that, putting that projection into the world, and then extracting yourself from all the things going on, you become a hot commodity. You become harder to access, which is part of aura. If you have constant access to something, it loses its luster. It's like you're around the same person constantly. This happens to couples. The magic, the lust, all these things, they start to dissipate. If you want to have aura, that can't dissipate. That mystery around you, the level of accessibility to you. You're too accessible. So when I was training for boxing, I had a strength and conditioning coach. His name was T. T was a brutal coach. He destroyed us every single practice. T is a big, strong, jacked black guy. When T walks into a place, people notice him. Not because he's just humongous, but because there's an aura to T. T, ask me if you can get T on Instagram. You can't get him on Instagram because he's not there. He has an Instagram, but good, if I message him, it's like, what are you doing? Message me on Instagram, bro. I'm not there. But T manages to run a fitness business, and he has clients that he trains because he just walks out into the world as he is with his magnetism and his aura, and people come to him. People are attracted to him and they say, how can I get like you? There is something within him that they have within themselves, but he's an amplified version of that, and they want to be able to obtain that, and they see that he has the ability to obtain that, and they get magnetized to him. And he has clients, and he makes a living, and he's good. And he hasn't had to be on social media a bunch. Even with my best friend and my first business partner, same thing. Aura. The dude has phenomenal aura and magnetism. Opportunities just come to him, and you wonder, how does this happen? Even me, when I met him at 3:00 in the morning at a jerk chicken spot, dude just looked super cool. Looked important. He was magnetic. I said, yo, what do you do? And we linked up, and years from now, we're friends. We've done business together. He's my best business partner. He's my best friend. But in that case, I was drawn. He's also somebody who's not chronically online. You can't just get him online. Because he's taking time for himself and his cultivation and his mind and his work and what he does. It can't be so accessible. It's messing with your aura. And I'm telling you, if you have aura, it solves so much of your problems. Like, you're like, oh, how come I don't get opportunities? Because you don't have no aura. You don't have no magnetism. You don't have no swag. Nobody cares. Like, when you walk in a room, people don't care. Like, you have to prove yourself to people if you have no aura. You want to be able to walk into a room and have people wonder how they can speak to you by just seeing you. Do you understand what I'm saying? It sounds fantastical and it sounds like wishful thinking. But if you can cultivate this, it changes a lot. And you can point this out. Some people call it the high value glow. There's some people that just glow in the world. And let me tell you something. This social media shit, okay, particularly Instagram and TikTok and short form content, how it just messes with your neurological system. It's attacking you. You are under attack. And it's draining your life force. A screen, okay, this black screen. Okay, if you look up what a screen is, it's designed to block out light. So the more you consume this thing, the more it is blocking out your light. But there's always a balancing vector in the universe, because the crazy thing is that you can use it to shine your light into the world. Isn't that funny? And the reason it's attacking your nervous system is because it makes you get addicted. particularly if you're not where you want to be in life. If you're not where you want to be in life, you have fears about where you are. And the balancing vector of fear is fantasy. So you don't like where you are in life, and you hop on Instagram to feel better about yourself, and you see all these fantasies. Oh, look at these people's lives. Look at how great they are. Look at their house and their mansion and their car and their stuff, and they're going on vacation. Their life must be so good. Oh my goodness, the highlight reel. Wow. And you get drawn into this fantasy. But then you go back to your regular life and it's not that. So you get depressed again. And how do you fix that? You go back on social media and look at the fantasy. And then you swing back to the fear and depression and back to the fantasy and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. This creates a rhythm that gets you addicted. An addict is an addict because they have a fantastical state at one point, they lose it, and they want it back again. And they go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. So you're addicted to the phone. It's playing on your amygdala, the mammalian part of your brain that's polarized, that thinks about fear and fantasy, shame and pride, sadness and happiness. And the people who run these companies know this, and they've built it to addict you and extract your life force. Because those who are able to extract energy from other people get paid, because all money is a different form of people's energy. So they figured out how to extract your energy, your attention, your aura, your life force, so they can be rich. They're masters at it. People think we live in an attention economy. Yes, this is true, but more so we live in an addiction economy. They're selling you addiction. Now, I'm not one of those people that's going to tell you to not use social media at all, to not go on the internet at all, to be a monk and a recluse and do nothing and just go in the forest and not be plugged in with anything. I'm not one of those people. Because we kind of live in a world where you can't really escape it. So instead, like I said before, you need to put more into the world than you take. If y'all been following my channel, you know my story. I was broke, sleeping on a basement floor, drinking all the time, working a studio job, just had enough money to put gas in my car and make my car payment, go to and from the studio, back to my wife's parents' house in the basement, broke. And then I stumbled upon managing content creators in the adult business, in the OnlyFans business, and I made a bunch of money through that. But here's the thing. To make money in that business, the creators had to project a lot. They had to put a lot of content into the world. They had to put a lot of messaging into the world. Even if it's just pictures or videos or whatever, it's still messaging. They had to do a bunch. They had to produce more than they consumed. And those who produced more than they consumed made the money. And those who were chronically addicted and stuck on their phone didn't make the money. They weren't dedicated enough. Also, I don't know if you noticed that when you're on social media and you come off of Instagram or TikTok or something, you don't feel that great. You actually feel like, why was I doing this? Your time has been extracted from you. You didn't even know. You've entered it with your brain off. Napoleon Hill talks about this in Outwitting the Devil. There's a concept called drifting. And the devil, the concept of negative energy, the devil wants you to drift, wants you to be totally unaware of what's happening in your life so that other people and their ideas and their messaging can influence your subconscious and get you to do things as your brain is turned off. But then when you finally snap back into it, because that's what it feels like. right? It feels like you're scrolling, and you're like, whoa, what am I doing? And boom, you put it away. Or worse, you close it and then you open it again because you're still in that drifted state. Keep squinting because I'm trying to look at the timer on my thing because my camera only records half an hour. If y'all been here, you know this. So like and subscribe so I can get a new camera. But you don't feel so good when you come off of it. That's because you're getting like messaging to once again come after your amygdala to get you polarized and swung up. Oh, this government did this and this thing is racist and these people are doing this and they're stealing all our freedoms and Republicans and Democrats and all designed to fire you up because it triggers that survival instinct, that mammalian instinct, that amygdala instinct. Over enough period of time of living in your amygdala constantly, you become extra stressed. And then that messes with your aura and your magnetism, and it makes you uglier. You ain't gonna have as much aura if you're not as good looking. Stress, unnecessary stress, is like the number one factor of health problems and your looks and your relationships and your money, just like stress that you don't need to take on. So be aware of this. My mom is calling me. I heard you have shingles. Dad, but I have to call you back. I'm filming something. Okay, bye. Yeah, guys, my mom has shingles. They caught it early, and my dad is in the hospital again. You got to develop good habits, guys. I mean, I don't think my mom could really help have gotten shingles, but my dad could help being in the hospital. But anyways, you need to be aware that these companies are attacking you and attacking your aura and stealing your life force. So if you want more aura, more magnetism, more ability to influence your reality and the people in it, you need to log off. But don't log off on my shit. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.